we're talking about why nursing school questions are so dang hard. The answer is Bloom's Taxonomy, and you can watch that original video to get more details. Here's how that newfound knowledge can make your studying easier. If you're being tested at the application and analysis level of difficulty, you have to study at an application and analysis level of difficulty. But most nursing students are studying the way you've always studied through nursing school, which is at the recall and recognition level of studying, which is basically memorization. So there's two main things I teach my tutoring students when it comes to studying at the application analysis level. First is this idea that you have to move away from passive learning strategies and moving into active learning strategies. I've talked about this on my podcast and on my blog, but active learning strategies, nursing students tend to kind of like shy away from these because they feel like they take too long and they kind of hurt your brain. Don't worry, they hurt my brain too, and I've been doing this for 15 years. But it's the same way that like working out at the gym hurts your muscles. It's a good hurt, and it's going to pay off in the end. And even though it feels like it takes longer, you're getting so much more return on your time investment that you shouldn't even bother with those passive learning strategies, because you're never going to be able to apply it to the exam. So even though you might spend time and cover more material with passive learning strategies, you're not really, because it's not the type of material, it's not the type of studying that's going to actually help you on your exam. It's like saying, I'm going to study less, but I'm going to do the wrong kind of studying because I don't want to do the kind of studying that'll help me because it takes too long. But I understand that like you have to trust me telling you this in order for you to be willing to make that study change. Because studying is just like an abstract process, because we're basically training your brain how to think like a nurse. And that's not something we can like look at under a microscope, which is why I developed the Silver Bullet study system. And that's the second thing I recommend all my tutoring students. It allows you to use active learning strategies very easily, but it guides you through how to study like you have training wheels. So even if you're brand new to nursing school, even if you failed a class, even if you're like maybe doing okay, but just not doing as well as you'd like to be doing, the 4 steps of the Silver Bullet study system meet you right where you're at and guide you through in a very concrete way for what to study and how to study. And it forces you, as long as you follow it the way I teach it, it forces you to study the material at an application analysis level, which then improves your test grades because that's the level you're being tested at. Now, I do have a 10-minute video about the Silver Bullet study system, like an overview of it. If you go to my profile link, if this is maybe the first time you've ever heard me talk about it. But if you've heard me talk about it and maybe you're a little bit convicted because you're like, okay, I've been sticking with passive strategies because they seem faster and easier, but they're not working, then join my group tutoring membership, because that's where I can help you the most and the fastest to get started with the Silver Bullet study system.